I've been thinking about Iowa lately. You know, the state of Iowa, west of Illinois, south of Minnesota, north of Missouri. Field of Dreams, Meredith Wilson's The Music Man, a place of corn and beans and hogs, a place where the Disciples General Assembly last month in Des Moines. And lest you had your head under a rock for the last few months, Iowa caucuses are coming. And the candidates and the newspaper reporters and TV reporters are arriving by the busload. Our son Andrew was in Des Moines for the General Assembly last month, went into a coffee shop and looked around, and there at the next table was Bernie Sanders, glowering as usual. And I've been thinking about Iowa lately. Our oldest granddaughter, Nora, graduated from high school 2 years ago in Annandale, Virginia, a suburban community in the northern Virginia area, just outside of Washington, D.C., inside the Beltway, outside the district. That fall, she headed for Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa, with an NCAA scholarship to be part of their competitive rowing team. Here in the Midwest, where competitive rowing is not really taken hold at the high school level, colleges often go to the East Coast to find their experienced rowers. Nora's heading for Iowa 2 years ago in a way that mirrors her grandparents, Kathy and me, half a century ago, after seminary, going to Iowa to serve a two-church rural ministry just after seminary. Iowa is very big on agriculture. In Des Moines, a city about the size of one-fourth the size of Indianapolis, you're never very far away from farming. TV ads are all about seed corn and herbicide and fertilizer. Fertilizer and seed corn and herbicide and seed corn. All know about that. And wherever you go in the state of Iowa, you're never more than 5 miles away from the field of corn, wherever you go in the state. The summer before Nora began at Drake, she and her family were in Indianapolis for our 50th wedding anniversary. And thinking about her transition from urban East Coast to agricultural Midwest, I gave Nora a little quiz while we were all gathered around the dinner table one night. Question number 1, can you tell the difference between hay and straw? Question number 2, what happens in a farrowing house? Question number 3, when a farmer talks about beans, is he talking about green beans, lima beans, kidney beans, pork and beans, or jelly beans? Is the corn that you see growing in a field just like the corn on the cob that you have at home at dinner? And finally, what sound do pigs make? And in case you've not been enlightened, pigs do not say oink, no matter what your childhood books may have said. It's more like wah, 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 something like that. She got the last one right because she had been properly taught by her father, who had been raised by babysitters in Iowa, who always thought he wanted sound the pigs make. Yes. And finally, what sound do pigs make? Nora got the last one right, but she flunked the test in general, just as I would have, fresh-faced and fair-haired, that whole lifetime ago when I went to Iowa. Now, take into consideration the parable which you heard just a couple minutes ago in the Gospel of Matthew. A sower went out to sow. But it doesn't take a degree from vocational agriculture from Purdue or from Iowa State to know that there was something odd about the farmer's method of spring planting. He, or perhaps it's she, who knows, simply throws out the seed indiscriminately, wherever it happens to land. Some of it lands on rocky soil, some of it lands among the weeds, some of it lands on hard, trampled down soil with footpath. Slim harvest, and food essentially wasted. Not a recipe, I think, for productive farmer. Yet the yield that was promised in the parable is just phenomenal, unbelievable. 30-fold, 60-fold, 100-fold. Unheard of in those times. Maybe something more like 7-fold, 10-fold in a good year. What is going on here? How do you read it? Maybe it's a parable about the soil and our admonition to be good soil so that the seed planted in your life will grow and prosper. I can make a pretty good sermon out of that. Or maybe it's a parable about the seeds, encouraging us to be the seeds that are planted in the lives of other people, helping the faith to grow in them. I can make a pretty good sermon about that, too. Or maybe, and this is my favorite one of these, maybe it's a parable about success and failure. Jesus' word to the disciples and to us as well, that the short-term results of our preaching often is pretty sparse and truth be told. But there will come a time, there will come 100-fold in the end with a great reaping for the kingdom. I think it's pretty good sermon out of that. But no, it's none of those. Jesus makes his own declaration when the parable begins, tells us what it's about immediately. A sower went out to sow. And we call it the parable of the sower. And it is about the sower, the farmer, whatever we may think of his planting methods. What about it? Here's where I come out with this. And I think this is important as to how you read the parables of Jesus in general. The very first filter through which you listen to Jesus' parables. Take note, Jesus tells two different kinds of parables. The first kind are the go thou and do likewise kind of parables. Good Samaritans like that. The way we should behave as a faithful follower of Jesus. Good Samaritan does that. It gives us an example of the way we should live, and maybe in the way we should look at the stranger, the foreigner, the alien, the migrant, the refugee perhaps. You've made your own journey to the church on those kinds of issues in the last few years. The Pew Religion Research Poll says, and hear this, 68% of white evangelical Protestants say the country has no responsibility for refugees. Say that again. Reports that 68% of white evangelical Protestants say that the country has no responsibility for refugees. Now, the truth of the matter is that we disciples have not generally been in the demographic of white evangelical Protestants, and I do hope that our understanding of the call of Jesus is a little bit better than that. So again, the parable of the Good Samaritan is an example of the way we should live, the way we should look at the person who is different, who is the stranger, who is the foreigner, the immigrant, the refugee, looking for a better life. Never let your politics blind you to that call of Jesus. Go out and do likewise. But there's also another kind of parable. And I think that today's scripture is one of those. This is what God is like, parables. A way of understanding what God is like. The parable of the lost sheep, the parable of the lost coin, the parable of the prodigal son, lost son, if you will, are that kind of parable. They say to us, look, listen, this is what God is like. God is a shepherd who looks tirelessly for that one lost sheep of the 100 who's lost in the wilderness. God is a housewife who lights a lamp and searches diligently for those coins lost out of her meager household budget. Or God is like the parent who waits and watches and welcomes home the child who is lost, who is strayed from the fold, welcomes them back into the heart of the family. And this parable here today, parable of the sower, I think is that sort of parable. It's a parable about God. The farmer, the sower, the one whose planting methods we tend to disparage, is actually a figure for God. A God who throws around love and grace, yes, and healing, with little regard as to where it may fall, but trusting that some will take root and grow. Because God has all those gifts in abundance and can spread them around as much as He chooses. In the process, Jesus is telling us something of what God is like. It's the way nature works, if you will. It works pretty well, thank you. Wind blows seeds from trees and flowers all over the place, some into rich soil, some into places where they don't stand a chance. Insects cross-pollinate and drop seeds as they move about. Birds eat seeds and poop them out who knows where, hopefully not on your windshield. How many unwanted volunteer flowers and weeds do we see growing out of the cracks in the sidewalk, even in Wabash, Indiana, thankfully? For years, Kathy and I had uninvited but delicious nonetheless little tiny yellow cherry tomatoes that came up in our backyard, who knows where, just reseeding themselves year after year, who knows from some previous homeowner. And I'll bet I've scooped 1 million baby maple trees from my gutters on 69th Street over the last 39 years. Thrown them away, but a couple of them we let grow in the yard. They're absolutely huge trees now with great shade. I've known so many churches over the years that provided space for things in their community, not directly related to the church, not directly benefiting the church, not directly benefiting the members of the church, but seeds sown generously in the community, because this is who we are as the sons and children of God and the people of Jesus. We've seen things like preschools and daycare centers, Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, artist colonies, polling places, nonprofit community agencies, food pantries, community gardens, clothing banks, and a million other things located in church property, because it's who we are, that we have something to share. Seeds scattered generously. It seems like a foolish, wasteful, impractical thing. It's not scratching our own back, just scattering seeds everywhere. But to the God of abundance, to the God of grace and love and healing, it's exactly right. And God's grace and healing, mercy and healing and love will always be enough. And occasionally 30-fold and 60-fold. That is, my friends, good news. And perhaps, in the end, this lavish sowing by God is a call and a challenge to you and me individually, and a call and a challenge to the church collectively, that we, like our spendthrift, generous God, should go and do likewise, generous beyond